Konnichiwa! Welcome to Japanese Cooking Ichie. Today I'm going to show you how to make Japanese Hiyashabu. Hiyashabu is chilled shabu shabu served with salad and is the perfect Japanese dish for a hot day. I'll also be introducing two of my favorite sauces, so I hope you'll give it a try. Let's get started. This recipe serves 2 to 3 people. Please check the description for a list of ingredients. Now, let's get ready to cook. First, let's make grated daikon radish to use as a condiment. Daikon radishes are sweet at the top and get spicier towards the bottom. Since I'll be eating it raw this time, we'll use the juicy and sweet top of the daikon radish. First, peel the skin off the daikon radish with a peeler. Once you've finished peeling, use a grater to make grated daikon radish. Press firmly against the daikon radish like this to grate it. Please be careful, as you may get cut by the sharp part of the grater. Once you've grated the radish and it looks like this, it's perfect. When you grate the radish, a lot of water will come out, as you can see. If there's too much water, the finished product will be very watery. So squeeze it tightly with your hands like this to squeeze out all the water before putting it in a bowl. Now, add 2 teaspoons of chili oil to the grated radish and mix well to add a little flavor. Coloring the dish with chili oil will add color and give it a vibrant finish. If you don't like spicy food, you can substitute it with sesame oil. Once it reaches this state, it's perfect. Next, take 25 grams of onion and chop it finely. If you can chop it into pieces of this size, you'll be fine. Set it aside in a small dish as you'll use it in the sauce later. Next, prepare the lettuce for the salad to put underneath the shabu shabu. Today, I will use about 4 to 6 lettuce leaves. I will be making enough shabu shabu salad for 2 servings. So if you only want to make 1 serving, 2 to 3 leaves will be fine. Once the lettuce is ready, I can move on to preparing the pork. This time, I'll use 150 grams of pork loin and 150 grams of pork belly for a total of 300 grams. As long as the pork is this thin and of this size, any cut of pork will do. I personally recommend pork belly, as pork with more fat will have a more moist finish. Once your pork is ready, you can move on to cooking. Prepare a pot filled with water and place it on the stove. First, bring the water to a boil over low-medium heat. Then add 1 tablespoon of chicken stock powder. Adding this will help to complement the umami that escapes during the boiling process of the pork. It's still delicious without it, so feel free to omit it. Next, grate 5 grams of ginger and add it. Adding ginger has the effect of masking the pork's unpleasant odor, so be sure to add it. After adding the seasonings, stir a little and wait for the water to boil. When the water starts to boil, it's time to cook the pork. Have a metal pad ready to remove the cooked pork. I'll explain why metal is a good choice later. Now, put the pork into the boiling water. Shabu shabu is a dish characterized by quickly boiling the pork for a short time to make it tender. Boil for about 40 seconds, separating the pieces of pork with chopsticks to prevent them from sticking together. When the pork turns white all over like this, it's done. Remove it from the pork onto the prepared metal pad. Now, let's boil the remaining pork. Boiling continuously will cause the water temperature to drop, so it's recommended to turn up the heat a little. Add the remaining pork and boil for about 40 seconds as before, removing it when it has turned white all over like this. Once the pork has been boiled, water will have collected in the pad, so pour the excess water back into the pot as shown here. A common recipe for hiyashabu is to chill the pork in ice water after this, but this has the disadvantage of causing the flavor to escape into the water. So, in the recipe I'll introduce today, I'll place the pork on a metal pad, which gets cold easily, and then chill it in the freezer. Cover the pad with plastic wrap and chill it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Be careful not to chill it too much, as the pork will freeze. By the way, the water left over from boiling is full of pork flavor, so I recommend using it in soup. Now, let's make the sauce. First, let's make the sesame-based sauce. Get a small bowl and add the seasonings. 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of sesame paste. Once all the ingredients are added, Mix well to ensure an even mixture. Please be careful as the sesame paste may be difficult to mix in. This much mixing is enough. Grate 1 clove of garlic and add it. Next, grate 5 grams of ginger and add it. Grating the garlic and ginger will add depth and punch to the flavor of the sesame sauce. Once you finish mixing everything, the first sauce is complete. Next, make the onion ponzu sauce. Personally, I prefer this sauce. Place the onions you prepared first in a small bowl. Add 2 teaspoons of sesame oil and mix lightly. Then cover with plastic wrap and microwave for 1 minute at 600 watts. By heating the onions slightly, you can remove the spiciness and bring out their sweetness. Once the onions have finished heating in the microwave, remove them from the microwave. As long as they remain translucent like this, they're ready. Add the seasonings and mix. 4 tablespoons of ponzu sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar. I've previously introduced a recipe for ponzu sauce used in Japanese restaurants, so if you're interested, give it a try. The sauce is now complete. Let's move on to plating. Remove the pad with the pork inside from the freezer. The pork will be nice and chilled. If it's been chilled too much and is a little frozen, leave it at room temperature for a while to melt the frozen parts. This time, I will be serving the food on this beautiful Japanese tableware. First, tear the lettuce leaves with your hands and place them on the plate. I recommend doing this as it gives a better texture than cutting them with a knife and helps them to coat the sauce better. Place the pork on top. It will look better if you arrange it high up. Once you finish placing the pork, pour the sauce over it. First, arrange the sesame sauce. Use a spoon to drizzle the sesame sauce over the dish, making sure it's evenly coated. Next, roll the grated daikon radish you prepared earlier into bowls and place it on top. Sprinkle some green onions and sesame seeds on top and it's done. Next, arrange the onion ponzu sauce. Pour the onion ponzu sauce over the entire dish, then top with green onions and sesame seeds to finish. The colors are beautiful and it looks delicious. It's cold and easy to eat, so I recommend it even on hot summer days when you don't have much of an appetite. Let's try it right away. Let's start with the sesame hiyashabu. The pork is so moist and delicious. The garlicky sesame sauce goes perfectly with the lettuce, and it's so tasty you'll eat it all in no time. The spicy grated daikon radish adds a nice accent. Next, let's try the onion ponzu hiyashabu. This is delicious too. The ponzu-based sauce combined with the sweetness of onions is refreshing, making this the perfect summer dish. Not only is it delicious, but it's also healthy and packed with vegetables, so be sure to give it a try. I hope you are enjoying today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, please let me know. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. ありがとう。